Yerushalim Icha Berachamim Tashuv V'tichon v'tocha v'tishon v'toicha Kasher dibraita. In honor of Yom Yerushalayim, I would like to talk about Yerushalayim and what it means to us. And in doing so, I want to address those 8 words that I just read from the Amidah in order to allow us to get there. So the limud should be Refuat Acholim Chaya Pasha Batidit Avraham ben Rivka Anna Flores Maria Flores Betoch Sha'achol Yisrael V'Ilui Nishmat Yaakov Nisan ben Hasi. So in order for us to understand what Yerushalayim is, we need to first understand what is freedom of our heart and then connect it back to Yerushalayim. So what is the difference between learning from a book and learning from a person? Because the difference is that learning from a book, at least myself, you don't feel something. And if you do, that's great. But I think that essential to understanding Yerushalayim is to believe that we learn in order that we daven. And when you learn with a person, that is tefillah. And it's tefillah that I believe is tefillah b'emet. True tefillah gives you like a zap in your heart. And you like scream. And you feel like you're mamash. I don't know what you feel. But you are like changed. In that moment, it's like you're not like you. The zap I'm referring to is when you cry. I don't know about anyone else, but when I've cried in my life, you almost think back to when you were crying and you were like, that wasn't even me. Like I felt like I was outside of myself. And it wasn't even like I was a different person. I wasn't a person. And in those moments that you've cried, that was tefillah. Tefillah is not reading words from a siddur. That is a way to get to tefillah. We understand this by way of the pasuk from Tehillim that says, "V'ata kadosh yoshev tehilot Yisrael." V'ata kadosh, you Hashem dwell in our tehilot. Our tehilot are our tears. Our tehilot are the way we feel. That is what Hashem dwells in. So where is the Kedusha found? The Kedusha is found in tears. When do we cry? In our lives, throughout our lives so far, when have we cried? Rabbi Nachman explains that the times when we cry are Kol elu anashim omdim b'sha'at hadarush. The times we cry are the times when we feel like something is truly missing. Like we are seeking for something. We need, like, it's not food necessarily, but it's kind of the feeling that when you're either a little kid or an adult, I still do when I'm an adult, and you burst out in tears because you're hungry. You're just starving for whatever reason. Maybe you probably you probably ate that day, but you're just hungry. And that feeling of missing, that is what brings someone to tears. Why do difficult things happen? I don't know what Hashem's intention is, but I know it is that I know that a reason, I truly believe that a reason why that difficult things happen, that we go through difficult things, is in order that we can try to feel like HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We do it because we're screaming out in our heart that we need Him in those moments. And that's tefillah. Those are the moments that we spoke of that's limud Torah. Those are the moments that I think we try to spend learning. And that is what gets us the freedom. When we're in those moments, they might be difficult, but that is when we are truly mamash free. We're free because we're not worried about what we're saying at those moments. We're worried about how we feel. The only reason we're crying is because we're addressing, my heart hurts. It hurts. Or it's joyful. And so now that we address the first question of what is chirut, being that chirut is those moments when you are completely in tefillah. What is Yerushalim? Yerushalim is our hearts. As it says in Yeshayahu, Dabru al lev Yerushalim. Speak to your heart, Yerushalim. Yerushalim is a place, but it is our hearts. Yerushalayim is the thing that is inside of a lot of surroundings that wants to be revealed. And that's what we want to do with our heart. Everyone wants a girlfriend. Everyone wants to feel loved. And the faculties that we try to reach out of those things might be different, but that's what everyone wants, essentially. And so our body is everything that surrounds Yerushalayim. Our physical body is similar to what is surrounding Yerushalayim. And so our body is our instinct. It's the things that lead you very often. As in, you know what your goal is. Your goal is to achieve love, but your body is the way that often leads you there. And Yerushalayim are the nations that have kept Am Yisrael out of Yerushalayim. But to really understand what I'm saying, to really understand what we are saying, we need to say, Yosef, you're an idiot. That doesn't make sense. What you just said doesn't make sense. The reason it doesn't make sense is because that explanation of what our body and Yerushalayim are, everything surrounding Yerushalayim is something negative. But that's not the truth. The truth is that our body allows us, not that it's keeping us from our heart, not that the things that we desire with our body are keeping us from our heart, but they are a way to lead us to our heart. So what is our heart? Now that we understand what our body, how it connects to everything around Yerushalayim, what is our heart? As you already explained, our heart, as it says in Yeshayahu, Dabru al lev Yerushalayim, our heart is Yerushalayim. To get to your heart, how do we get to our heart? We daven. So just like Yerushalayim is surrounded by the city, it's surrounded by the body, so too the heart is surrounded by a body. The surrounding nations around Am Yisrael, Yerushalayim. And so when I fought in the 1967 war, in the 6-Day War, I fought and I fought and I fought and I ran and I pushed myself to mamash places I've never gone before, like levels of effort that I've never put before in my life. And when I finally made it to the Kotel and I heard the shofar, I felt free. I felt free. But what is that understanding? I felt completely free. For the first time in my life, I felt like I achieved freedom. Like I achieved tefillah. But how did I get there? I got there through my body. I got there through fighting. That's my physical body. My physical body is not a chasitza. It's not something that keeps me from getting to my heart. It's a way to achieve getting to my heart. I can only get there by way of my body. So back to where we started when we sang, and we said, Yerushalim, ircha berachamim tashuv, v'tishon betocha kashiri brata. Yerushalayim is your city, berachamim tashuv, that Hashem dwells in, v'tishkon betocha. But when we're trying to understand this pasuk, I want to try to understand it as if we are trying to imagine ourselves in Hashem's shoes. Whatever that means, but I mean, like, when I say you, I want it to be us. When I say you, as in Hashem, I want it to be us. So v'Yerushalayim ircha, when you are going to dwell in Yerushalayim, when we are going to dwell in Yerushalayim, berachamim tashuv, when we are going to return, berachamim, v'tishkon betocha, and we are going to dwell there, kashiri brata. V'tishkon betocha is saying that to get there needs to be, to get inside, betocha. Betoch is to be in the midst of, inside. But to get betoch, there needs to be an outside. And so if we want to achieve getting inside, we need to acknowledge that our body is there to lead us to our heart. Our body is the tool. It is the derech in order for us to achieve getting there. Very often, and religiosity is a complicated thing, because I don't believe that to be religious, it means to necessarily pick up a siddur. I know many people, probably the most religious people I really know, some of them never pick up a siddur, at least from what they tell me. But their siddur is the elements of their life that allow them to achieve getting to their heart. That's what gets them there. So, v'tishkon betocha, to return to the inside, we have to recognize that the surrounding nations are not there to keep us from getting on the inside. It seems very obvious that as the rockets were sent a couple of days ago, that we could perceive that as something that is trying to keep us from dwelling. It's trying to keep us from making it to Yerushalayim. But in fact, I think that is enabling us to get there. I'm not saying that that's simple, but I think that allows all of us to get to Yerushalayim. The fact that there are surrounding nations around Yerushalayim is what makes us, that's going to be the ticket to Yerushalayim, to making shalom in the world. And so, V'Yerushalayim ircha berachamim tashuv, v'tishkon betocha kashiri brata. As we have spoken so many times about, in our lives, we've heard so often, we've heard, many people have spoken to us about davening. I personally, when I'm not the best davener in the world, of like what they want me to do in school, and so very often I find it difficult to stay quiet, and I have a difficulty listening to what they're saying, and it's not necessarily them, it's definitely me. But Kasher Dibrat, as they have spoken to me, we can achieve that. We can achieve what we've heard so many times by recognizing that our speech, that is a physical action, is what will allow us to feel in our heart Yerushalim. To be Tashu v'tishkon b'tocha, to return to our heart and to dwell in our heart, means that you take your body and you infuse it into your live, into your heart. And that's what we're doing with Yerushalim. That's what the 1967 war was. We took all of our might, all of us, we were all there. We took all of our might, all of the Jewish people, and we put it into Yerushalim. It's like we came from the outside of Yerushalim and we went into Yerushalim. And through that, I believe that we can all daven tefillah b'shalim, b'lev shalim, b'mhiriya b'amenu. Shabbat shalom.